Okay, number 3, I think it's the last problem in this set. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it's not a long problem set. Um, let's go to town, see if we can do it. I'll go to the whiteboard to do it, because it does take space. Let's go to the whiteboard. And the problem is x5 equals a5. And again, I really think it's an obvious, simple solution, or some people call trivial. So one of the roots is just simply x equals a. This is a root. I'm going to depress the equation. I write down what the equation is by dividing this by the factor, and the factor I'm going to divide by is x minus a. All right, let's write this down. If you know this, that's good. If you don't know that, I'll still go through the long division for you. All right, let's go through the long division. I'm going to write this as x minus a. I'm dividing it to x5 minus a. Clearly x4. That would give you x4 minus ax4. Subtract. Let's see, that would be plus a x cubed. That would give you ax4 minus a squared x cubed. Subtract. Keep repeating, don't we? So it's going to be plus a squared x squared. What is it going to give me? A squared x cubed minus a cubed x squared. I am going to subtract. Repeat a cubed x. What do you get there? A cubed x squared minus a4x. Subtract. And I got to write it down now, so it's going to be a4, right? Wow, it's a long division, isn't it? Guess that's how they call it, long division. By the way, I realize I forgot to write down the right thing here, so I'll put that down now. Otherwise, I was saying this is not working out as advertised. Glad I caught it. Minus a4 times a is a5, right? Lo and behold, 0. Are we getting what we expected? We sure are. This is good news. So someone says, is that the end of your story? No, it's the beginning of the story. What I'm going to do now is, it's certainly very symmetric, all right? And what I'm going to do now is go through it. All right, let's see if we can do it. I'm going to divide through by x squared. So let me write that down for you. By the way, I clearly know x is not equal to 0. Unless, of course, a is equal to 0, but then I got a very trivial problem. It'd be 0 equals 0. Let's see. I'm going to divide this thing here. I'm trying to find its roots now. And that's equal to 0, right? So, let me think about this, though. Yeah, let's divide both sides by x squared. What do you get? X squared. X is definitely not 0, by the way. Plus ax plus a squared plus a cubed over x plus a4 over x squared. And 0 divided by x squared is just 0. Let's just rearrange a tiny little bit. And let's write this down. X squared plus a4 over x squared. This looks a little strange, though, doesn't it? Plus, I associate these two. And let's do the next one. Plus, let's write this down. A it would be x plus a squared over x, that's those two associated, plus a squared equals 0. Well, let's keep moving, and I'm going to do something I've done in the past. I'm going to say y is equal to x. It's more difficult, though, because it's a parameter. I'm going to square both sides. You're going to get x squared plus a4 over x squared, and then you're going to get plus 2a squared. And I'm going to pop it in now. So what do you get? Well, the first guy's going to be y squared minus 2a squared. The next guy's going to be a times y. Then you get a squared over here equals 0. Not out of the woods yet. You get y squared plus ay minus a squared is equal to 0. Quadratic formula. So I'm going to say y is equal to 2 minus a plus or minus a squared minus 4 times the coefficient of the y squared. So it's going to be plus 4a squared then. All right, let's keep going. I'm going to write this down now, don't I? Oh boy, it looks like a lot of work, doesn't it? That is going to be the root of 5a squared over 2. All right, what does y equal if you recall? I don't recall, so I'll look it up. Oh, x plus a squared over x. So I can multiply both sides by 2x. When I say both sides of this equation here. So what are you going to get? You can get minus a plus or minus 5a squared all right, let's keep going here. 2 cancel off, get an x there. Then you get 2x squared. And then you're going to get what? Plus, multiplied by 2x, right? 2a squared. Well, I'll write this down now. 0, 2x squared, minus a plus or minus 5a squared x plus 2a squared. I want to clean that up a little tiny bit, though. All right, I got 2 equations. I'll write them down for you. Don't be alarmed. That's one equation. Let's write the other one down. All right, quadratic formula. X equals 4. This will be root 5a squared minus a plus or minus. All right, not going to be easy, but we'll get there. Give me 1 second. Let's see, we got to square that guy, right? So it's going to be a squared plus 5a squared minus 2a root 5a squared. All right, let's write that down. a squared plus 5a squared. You know what? We can simplify that, can't we? That's going to be 6a squared minus 2a root 5a squared minus 4ac now, right? When I'm using the a word, I'm actually saying the uppercase a. Which would be, that's an a squared, right? Which would be 16a squared. Well, you know, I got to simplify that, don't I? The parameter certainly does make it a lot more difficult, doesn't it? And what do you get there? You get minus 10 a squared minus 2a root 5a squared. Well, I'm going to factor out an I in that one. And you get 10a squared plus 2a root 5a squared. And do the other one now. We'll check the key later, by the way. Four. This will be minus a minus the root of 5a squared plus or minus. Let's see what you're going to get. You're going to get, let's see, a squared and 5a squared, 6a squared, plus 2a root 5a squared. And then you're going to get, what, 4ac, right? So minus 16a squared. And I'm going to get my eraser out, call that minus 10a squared. I'm going to factor out a minus 1. Square root of minus 1 is I. And then get my eraser out. And I think we're done. What does that mean? I'm going to go to the key now. Let's see if I got it. And I got to look at the key. First thing I want to make sure, did they put the root a down? These are long problems, aren't they? Did I do that? It's over here. Didn't realize it was so long. Got that. I gotta scroll down to the other two. By the way, they do something strange here, but I wouldn't worry about it so much. When I say strange, they factored out an a squared in the problem. And the root of a squared is really plus or minus a. And that's the reason I didn't do it. I was gonna check it over. I'm going to agree with this. Minus a, yeah, I'm agreeing with that. Plus or minus I. Let's see, 10a squared, 2. Yep, got this one over 4. Minus a. Yep, I got that. Again, I know they did a little simplification. I don't want to go there, though. And I got 10 minus 2. Yeah, it looks great. Everything is fine. All right, we got everything we need. Thank you so much for paying attention. Oh, by the way, if you do need to reach out to me for whatever reason, my email address is Bannon. I'll write that down for you. And again, I know these are long problems. They're tedious, and they are tiring. They're exhausting at times. Again, I want to encourage you to study trig. If you study trig, this problem will be far easier to do. But again, I think the take-home message here is that you learn in steps. And the step you're learning about here is algebra. And I think it's a good step to take. Thank you.